Soon as we step on the mic, man, you notice the difference. Heavenly blessed with the melanin, baby, you know that we winning. No time for the long talk, got 120 on the clock. Wednesday, 8 through 10, all the bad vibes better stop. Cause you gotta come with that energy. Kazual Konvo, baby, come down and just sit with me. Lil' Coco be spitting that remedy. Kazual Konvo, baby, come down and just sit with me. You better take this shit serious. She dropping knowledge on head and it's free for the play. Tap in right now if you curious. We got the ham radio going lit every day. We go from people to family to pilots. Stay with me if you got something to say. You know it's important if we go acknowledge. Speak on the business and get out the way. What you gonna say about my mama? She winning, you rockhead.
Hi, welcome to the Kazual Konvo show with me, Coco, and my guest, Tierra and Jay Nathaniel. And we're here. And here at Kazual Konvo, where we have conversations about topics that affect the communities, personal and business relationships. We always have the casual convo, so you don't have to have the tough convo. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
How are you?
Good.
How was your day?
Long.
Before we get started, I'm trying to break the ice, you know.
I was out in the community a lot longer than I wanted to be.
You was out in the community a lot longer than you wanted to be?
Yeah.
What that mean?
I was out running errands and stuff all day. I didn't think it would take me as long as it did. I'm hot.
What about you, T?
I punch numbers all day, so I'm tired of numbers right now.
All right. So we're gonna talk about my neighbors. So we're gonna talk about creativity just enhance our what we got going on. So how are you creative? I got you a lady first, Tierra. Before we get into it. So, in what ways? I'm gonna start with this one to break the ice. What ways are you creative?
I'm creative a lot of ways, like the way I style my hair, the way I dress, the glasses I wear. I do hair. I'm a DIY queen. Like I'm just creative a lot of ways. I do t-shirts. I make stuff.
Okay. What about you, Drew?
You calling me that?
I mean, Jay.
Of course, I have my photography. I like to draw. I like to write. I like a lot of DIY stuff too, actually. I like to put things together. Anything like electronic or build it yourself, I like to do.
Okay. I don't know. I don't think I'm creative in ways where I try to push the envelope and be different in some ways. I think that's safe to say.
That's safe to say.
What, did I push the envelope?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna say create. All right, so that's what I had to do to get into it, because people only think of creative in just like an artsy way. That's why I pretty much asked you to. I also asked Tiff, because she also has a different type of creativity that she do. But everybody just think of like the arts and crafts and stuff like that, but it's so many different aspects. Mm-hmm. So like Rich always tell me, go to my local Google. So that's what I did. And then I looked up creativity. It's when you turn new and imaginative ideas into reality. So I looked at that could be with anything that you do. And you know how sometimes we think and we second guess it, or we worry about if somebody else won't like it, or this might be too much or too edgy or too this and too that. And the next thing you know, when you do it, it's dope. It's like legit. It's popping. And you're like, oh, okay. So you ever see something or somebody, like you said, even down to how you dress. So it could be really, really different. And then, or you could see somebody just put something together that you'll be like, that ain't gonna look right. And then when you actually see it, you're like, oh, That's fine. But can everybody pull that off? So I look at it as your own unique thing that you do.
Yeah.
That's how I. All right. So, question for both of y'all. Why is being creative important to you as far as like in your life, your daily life? Anybody can take the wheel first. It's like Russian roulette. Who want to go first?
For me, it helps me stand out as an individual. I don't like to dress the same as everybody else. I don't like to look the same as everybody else. I always like to put my own spin on things and make it gives me an outlet if I'm feeling stressed, or even if I'm just bored, it gives me something to do.
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm still
Like
trying to get situated over here.
Like what?
What you mean?
I mean, like what you mean for as what?
So I could have a stressful day, week, or whatever, and I know I can always pull out a pad and start to draw something that's been on my mind, or I can just take my camera out and walk around by myself. And I know I'm gonna come across some things that's gonna be nice and inspiring to me, and just give me some alone time.
Okay. See?
I just don't like being like other people. Like down to the glasses I wear. Like so many people look at my glasses and be like, "Oh my God, where did you get them from?" And I'm like, it's just rhinestones on them, but it's just the glasses I wear. Like I used to have a pair of shoes that looked like clown shoes. I thought people would look at me like I was crazy, but everybody loved them.
Yeah.
And I was, oh, okay. But I just like to be different. I don't like to look like other people.
I can see that because you're like a DIY type person. Like you'll take something. I'm like, where you get that from? Like, oh God, I just added some string and some stuff and put it on there, girl. And that was easy. And I'll be looking like, no, it's not neither. Because you know me, I will mess something up. Like something easy to you for me is very complicated. And you know I get like that. And I'm like, you just do it. But I think the importance of it for me, I think my creativity comes when I'm stressed or I'm going through something. It's like an outlet. I think that's when I feel like I'm at my peak is when I need a release. You know what I mean? That's like my most creative form of anything is when I'm just trying to figure some things out and I got to do something with myself, my time and everything. So I just go ahead and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to try this and see what happens. Even when it comes down to, a lot of people do the same things and you'll see some people like, oh, I can do that. A lot of people can do some of the same thing. But then when you just think about it, and I just call it playing with colors or playing, with certain things and just see what happened. Or I can, you might see something in your mind, but then when they come out, you want to just start going through different things and adding other stuff to it to see how it's going to pop. I like to do stuff like that. Or try to do something that's challenging in a different way. That's my own way. So when you see it, it's mine. I want it to be, usually sometimes some people can tell how I felt that day that I did it. Whether if I was sad, happy, angry, just pissed TF off. So it's kind of like that. So, for me, it's like more of like an outlet, like a peace of mind almost, I'm going to say. That's where I get mine from. So I looked up something and I ain't know this. I'm gonna give y'all 4 options. You listening, Jay?
Yes. I'm trying to get everything situated. I wasn't quite.
You are fine. Stop. I knew you was going to do that. So, all right, it says 4 ways to be creative, which I didn't know this was a thing, is deliberate and cognitive, deliberate and emotional, spontaneous and cognitive, and spontaneous and emotional. T, what do you think you are without going into it yet? I'm going to go into what they mean, but then I'm going to see which one you think you are.
I think I might be all of them. But mostly, I'm probably deliberate and emotional and spontaneous and emotional.
Okay.
Because
so you just
my creativity, it comes in all forms. Like it comes when I'm sleeping. It comes, I could just look at something and then I want to do something. Like it comes all over.
Mhm.
And it's not ever when I'm stressed. When I'm stressed, I don't want to be creative. I just want to be left alone.
Okay. I can see that.
But I need more of a meaning to really give you an accurate answer.
I know we just guessing right now because I knew right none of us knew that.
So I'm guessing.
You guessing? All right.
Yeah.
That's a good guess. Okay. I can kind of see that. All right, Jay.
What were they again?
What was the options again?
Yes.
All right. Deliberate and cognitive, deliberate and emotional, spontaneous and cognitive, or spontaneous and emotional.
I think deliberate and spontaneous and cognitive.
For both.
Yeah.
I think I'm spontaneous and emotional. I don't fit all bills of the whole thing. Because it got it. I'm one of them people like, it gotta hit me. It don't just come to me. Oh, I can be like, oh, that's cute. I'm gonna try that one day. And the next thing you know, I don't try it until I'm in my feelings, or not saying in my feelings in a bad way. It could be a good mood, happy mood. I might just like, it just hit me. Or, something like that. And I get inspired to do something. So I would say I'm on a spontaneous side. That's that Gemini in that come out. All right. So it says deliberate creativity is something that's consciously sustained. About spontaneous creativity is unexpected and unanticipated. Cognitive creativity is based on logical mindfulness, while emotional creativity relies on the heart and the person's feelings.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So emotion, who said emotional creativity?
Me.
Oh, both of y'all?
No, T.
It says it's
Me.
based on a social constructivist theory of emotion and refers to an individual's ability to experience and express novel, sincere, and effective mixture of emotion.
Okay.
How you get to that?
I get that because I am emotional and I can empathize with people, like people situations. Why are you laughing?
I am emotional.
I
Like,
am
okay.
emotional.
Okay.
I'm very emotional. I try to hide that I'm emotional, but I'm very emotional.
Your face don't hide nothing.
I'm practicing.
I don't think any of ours do.
Look, I was told the same thing, but yes. It say something. All you gotta do is do like that, and she'd be like, and I'm like, what? She'd be like, oh, you saw that? Yes, I did. You cannot hide no type of emotional, no nothing that's going on. All right, Jane, you said you are. So how? First of all, let's go back before you answer this, and I think it'll give insight into the people that's listening, watching. What? T, go back. So, what do you do so that we can see the comparison and why you said what you said as to why you think you are that?
Because I think I create off emotions. Like it's never like stressful, but it's like how I'm feeling that day. Like if I'm in a happy mood, then I'll probably want to create something with some flowers or some hearts, or because I love hearts and I love flowers. So it's like it's going to go off of how I'm feeling that day. So if I'm in a happy mood, it's going to be wanting to create maybe a t-shirt with some hearts and something on it, or I might want to do a flower arrangement or something like that. which have to be creative to actually make flower arrangements. I didn't know that at first. I thought you could just piece them together and it'll work out, but no. Like, no, you really got to think about it. But yeah, but that's how I create. Like, it depends on how I'm feeling or how something makes me feel. Like, if I see something outside and depending on how it make me feel, my mind will start working on, like, what can I do, like, show this emotion? Like, what can I create to show that emotion?
Okay.
It can come out in hair. It can come. I do so much stuff that I don't know how to reel it in.
Yeah, because I need another shirt. You just gotta
I did like that that last one.
Huh?
I need,
I did
I'm
like that
trying to
last
get her to
one
cut it up for me and distress it so we can so I can be
You gotta bring it back. You want me to cut your ones you have or the new ones?
Oh, okay. It will be the new one. It could be that. I can bring you all of them for real. And some other stuff. Listen, yes, we can. All right, Jay, what about you?
I don't even know where we at no more.
What do you do? Because we gotta piece them together. So Tierra do everything. So Tierra do hair. She makes shirts. She makes shoes. She make everything. She make glasses. She a whole DIY channel in itself. Okay.
That's
Girl,
true.
I got a candle kit downstairs that I'm about to do.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So. All right. Now,
I think if I'm feeling like emotional or I'm having like a bad day, I think I write better on those days. You know, I write or I write poems that day. Just something to get my feelings out. I'm real deliberate with like my pictures, and actually a lot of drawings are deliberate too, because it'll be something that I
Rich,
might
stop doing that. Rich said read a poem.
Oh no, I don't have no recent ones. I don't do that no more.
We're about to have a spoken word night.
I ain't gonna say never, but I don't have any recent ones. Like anytime recent.
Oh, we got the old ones. The old ones probably telling
I don't have them anymore.
Oh yeah, I used to write in high school. I ain't done it in so long.
Man, I don't have them anymore. I haven't written a short story in a long time. I haven't had time for that.
I used to journal. Is that the same thing?
So what is my issue?
It's not the same thing, but it's along the same lines.
Okay. I need to start doing that again.
I'm hot.
How about I dream storylines? Is that creative?
What do you mean you dream storylines?
Like, I read a lot. So from the storyline, when I'm asleep, I make up my own stories. Like, I will come with a whole story in my sleep.
Do you write them down after? Like when you wake up?
No, I don't write them down.
Ah! Man. Look, we trying to figure this out too. Okay.
No.
All right. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Maybe I'm serious. He already graduated college. I got so much. I ain't quite there yet.
I'm serious. I make whole storylines, like from beginning to end in my sleep. I don't wake up and write them down though.
So what's the storyline?
Like, it could be anything. If I've read a book about like somebody cheating, and then it always revert back to my life. So if I've read a book about somebody cheating and then I dream and when I'm asleep, a whole storyline will go about me and somebody else, and they cheated, and how that like unraveled, and it's a whole storyline.
Do you extend it?
Huh?
So do you extend the story or something?
Yeah, it's I'm telling you, it's like almost like I could create a whole book.
Okay. So why you don't ever just do it?
Cause I don't know, cause I be waking up like, what the hell was I thinking about?
Something wrong with both of you.
Oh my gosh. I wasn't gonna laugh at first, but she did serious. Look, this what you do. Next time you get one of them drinks, I'm gonna be your scripter. I type it up. We gonna sell it. We gonna make a book. Cause you know my mind I be adding all kinds of stuff to it. Y'all know, because y'all always say I'm extra. That's gonna be a #1 seller, and we gonna publish it and get rich to promote it.
I'm telling you, it'd be like a whole movie in my sleep.
Oh yeah, we gonna do that. Okay. All right. So is it my turn? So Jay, yeah, about to cuss me out. So the photography, right? And you said you're cognitive or emotional?
Cognitive.
Why? Why you think that?
Because my pictures are very deliberate. Like, I go out with the intention of finding something. Or if I go to a certain space, I might have an idea. Like, maybe I thought of something like, oh, I want to try this and see if it works. So I'll go find a place, maybe like a park or a beach or something, and try to find the picture that I've envisioned in my head. Doesn't always work, but most times I get some sort of what I'm looking for.
Okay, I can see that. Of course, I'm not cognitive at all. I don't think nothing through. I just do stuff, and that's probably why I always end up in trouble. So even with my creativity, I'm actually say I think I'm spontaneous, emotional. Was that one of them?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm spontaneous and emotional, because I ain't spontaneous and then think about it. I just do it. Even when it don't matter what it is, if somebody asks me to do something or put something together, I don't think about that. I'm like, oh, I got some time right here. Bam. And then whatever come out. You like it? You like it. If you don't, I'll be trying again next time I feel some type of way. So that's just that on that one. So did you say you were spontaneous, cognitive?
Mm-hmm.
It says it can activate when your brain stops working on something and shifts into your conscious mind to work on it instead. Your conscious work is done in the basal ganglia part of your brain. So you're utilizing the part of your brain you don't even know you're utilizing.
I don't even know what it means.
No, I just said that's your unconscious work. So when you're not consciously aware that you're doing something, that's the part of your brain that kicks in.
Like when I'm asleep. Serious.
Why are you pointing at? She like when I'm asleep. Okay, yeah, like when you sleep. That works. But I don't know. That wouldn't work for me. All right. So I got a bunch of stuff. We're going to talk about. So, okay. But I was right. I had to do this one. I said I was spontaneous. It says spontaneous creativity is the creativity we often associate with artists. It is about the ideas seemingly coming out of nowhere. Ideas for painting, ideas for sculptures, ideas for novels, and the like ideas, campaigns, brainstorming, and general problem solving are all examples of that. That's me. Spontaneity. All that.
Because even when I'm spontaneous, I'm kind of deliberate about it because it's like, oh, hey, I just had this idea. Let's see if we can do this real quick.
No, you're an overthinker. You think too hard. Both of y'all. Y'all literally, I can tell y'all think things through and not just put it together because y'all pay attention to every, but I'm like, oh, that's cute. And you're like, no, because you see that little blur in the corner. And I'm like, ain't nobody gonna, I didn't see that till you said something. And T the same way, she'll be like, go ahead. She'll be like, wait, I gotta do this one over. It was a strain. And girl, cut that piece of hair.
No.
And then she will literally take it off. And then I'll be like, let me just stay here and let her work her magic and just do whatever it is she did.
That's an expression of my art. Like you can't leave that like that. Not when you're expressing yourself.
And it be them little imperfections to me that I'd be like, leave it. And then I'd be like, Anna, unique. Look.
No, it's a mess.
Like right now, I'm looking at this little bit of hair right there, sticking out, it's driving me crazy.
Hey guys, well, y'all know me. I like the imperfection stuff, and I think that's my problem, and that also gets me in jams with a lot of stuff. I'm one of them. You know how some people focus on perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I look for the imperfections of the uniqueness of something. Like even like if you go to a museum, if you notice some of the best pieces are extremely imperfect. They're not, it's something off, something unleveled, something just didn't mix well, something may be raised, something is just a little bit not right. And I think those are the things that stand out because it's going to draw people in. And they be like, wow, how did they, how did you get to this? How did you get to that? Da, 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 da. And then it's like, oh, I don't know. I just did it. And I messed up and I just kept on going.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what art is. It's imperfectly perfect.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, okay. No, but some people who on like a painting or drawing or whatever type of thing they do, and that type of art, a lot of people go for perfection. And if they feel like, no, this not straight, or this went this way, and and they focus on that to like me or somebody else that appreciates imperfections in art, it's like just fuck the whole thing up because it doesn't make it look like everything else. Mm-hmm. I like stuff that doesn't look the same. I don't want to see a person do this piece because you'll see a lot of time everybody had the same concept. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, you're like, okay, I've seen this before. So okay, this is supposed to look like this. But then when you see something that's different in a way, it's like, oh, okay, this is not the same as because this is a little different. Or they're not scared to take that risk and not have it perfectly done. Mm-hmm. So I like the imperfections. That's why all my friends is imperfect.
Well, thanks.
I need to argue that. I'm not. Because I'm far from perfect.
I mean, that's what I don't think your whole circle of friends and stuff should be the same.
No.
I don't think perfection exists within people.
Huh?
I don't think perfection exists within people.
But think it's some people who think that they are perfect.
They can think it all they want, but they're not.
Right. But you have to understand the concept that that's not it to know. But then it's like, let's just go into this, okay? Because it's a couple of them I got to run down, and I know it's going to go over to the second part. So, whenever we started doing while we were young, I know for me it was young, like tapping into your creative mind. So we building up to this. So you have to tap into something within yourself that you feel to express. But you have to tap into something in your mind that sparks it and triggers it, right? Mm-hmm. So, all right, let's get a little bit personal. T, when did you first realize that you tapped into your mind that you were extremely creative?
Probably when I was little, because my mom actually was very creative. So she brought out that part of me, and then we lived right next door to a Boys and Girls Club
Okay.
where they did arts and crafts. And how I knew I was creative was, I don't know if you guys ever did it, but we took a board and then we put nails in the board, and then we had to use thread and like thread it a certain way to make a heart.
Oh yeah.
I ain't even do nothing like that in camp. We just play volleyball and dodgeball all day. That's different. Okay, no, I did. I never
So
had
we had to do that, and then my mother used to make clothes with like the puff pins. You remember puff pins from back in the day? You don't know puff pins?
No, I don't know no damn puff. What's the
Girl,
puff
my
pin?
mom used to make us jumpers and everything, and she would put the bears on our clothes and then trim it in puff pins, and yeah, it was my
when I don't remember
mother was
that.
bougie. She wanted to buy it already done. She ain't had time for that.
Oh my God. No, my
I'm
mother
not lying.
make ours.
That's how she was. She was like, I'm gonna buy it just like this. Put it on. That's how she did.
Yeah, my mom used to make ours. So that kind of like sparked the juices of me wanting to be creative. And then I was a reader even when I was little. So when I would read different stories, it always made me think of like, well, how would it be if I was a part of this story, or if I could just create my own story, or if I could do this? And then I always watch people, and then I try to figure out, how'd you do that? And then I'm going to try to do it myself to figure out how you did it.
Mm-hmm. I just used to do stuff with my imaginary friend.
I didn't have one.
Girl, I had 3 of them.
I think I'm missing out.
You are. Girl, my imaginary friends was the truth. Like, I think that was it for me. Or I used to watch my brother do stuff for us, like, because he was like a beast down to like playing guitars, drawing, sketching, painting, writing music. Like, he could do it all, down to modeling. Like, he would literally do a whole outfit, and then I became his live doll model. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, how you always have that older sibling that you want to be like. Mm-hmm. So I'm bad, my brother. I'm gonna figure out how to do this. So I was sitting and mimic what he did. So as time went on, he would start to show me like different things. He would show me, he would show me different things as to say. Sorry. He would show me different things as to how to make it work. And then he bought me a drawing book. I never forget it. I was like 6. No, I'm lying. Yeah, I was between 6 and 7. And he bought me this book and said, here, practice with this and let me know what you come up with. It was a drawing book. I actually started the book, and I haven't seen it in a long time. I seen it in the Michaels probably about a month or so ago. Same book. So if anybody wants to learn how to draw and figure it out, get that book. What it does is it shows you how to, even though it's like animated, it just shows you how to do different shapes and make them your own, how to do different faces, lips, hands, different objects is in this book. But you can take them and you can blend them and make them solid into how you want to do it, right? Mm-hmm. So I did that and I got into it. Then I would go to school and I would, you had the notebook and you used to tape stuff on your book, because we had to cover out notebook with the little with the brown bag from the market. Uh-huh. So I would draw on the bag instead of doing all that other stuff, because everybody ain't have it all. So we ain't had a little designer book covers. You took the grocery bag, the brown bag, paper bag, and you cut it out and you put it on it. So I would draw pictures. I started out drawing like Disney stuff or different characters that I saw in the book that I started to learn how to draw. So people in the class would be like, oh, do you mind? And then I just started doing anything. And it was cute to them. And I did it. So that became a thing. And then he just showed me how to improve it. And I think that's when I really started to tap into, oh, I can really do something here. And then that's when he started to take me to like his practices and stuff like that. And for a while, I thought I was a model. You couldn't tell me nothing. And rehearsals, I thought I was working around by.
And you were in your own way.
I was spinning and kicking, honey. You know how they do the spin kick and you twirl. I do it. I was up there tripping over my own feet and everything, but it was all right. Jay, when did you know you tapped into your creative mind?
I was pretty young too. I don't know how young, but I used to like to, I would see pictures and try to draw them myself. Or I would see like, if I was reading a book and I saw the way they drew one of the characters, I would try to draw something similar to it, or try to just even recreate the character, especially Disney characters. Because I used to love like, Tigger and like the Tasmanian Devil, all of that, Bugs Bunny and all of them. I used to have me a picture next to me, and I would just sit and draw and sketch and try to actually draw it. Took a while before I got it, but I also didn't like to color the same as everybody else.
Okay.
I always wanted to see what would it look like if I used these colors instead of the ones they use.
Right. So what about photography? When did you realize I can take some fire pictures and really like do this? Because I ain't gonna lie to you, if it come out and it look kind of cute, that's it. Ta-da! That'd be me. Whereas though you'll be like, give me this. You gotta back up a little bit. You gotta get. I'm not doing all. Push that button and come on here. That'd be me. Push the button. Gerald gotta get down on the ground, lay back, come forward, pivot, and then hold your head up. Push that way. Do it. Boy, take this
You
back.
be messing with the lighting and stuff. You don't want no shadow. That you got a big chin, and it ain't really no big chin right there.
Well, I got like 3 of them anyway.
Don't nobody need to know that.
One going away though.
Don't nobody need to know that. The right angle, you've only got the one that you got.
They'd be like, you see who I got on, man? I'm like twins. I think they're going adult too. Homer. My stepbrother.
Oh, I can see. Get on my nerves. I think I was about 19 when I bought my first real camera. Now, I took pretty good pictures with like disposable cameras and stuff, but I bought my first like digital camera when I was about 19.
Okay.
I started maybe a year into that. I started like printing out my pictures and hanging them up around the house, mainly in my room and stuff. Gave them to a few friends.
All right. So, what does it say? One of the ways to tap into your creative mind, figure out when you are at your best. When do you feel like you're at your best at what you do?
This may be sad, but I didn't feel like I was at my best until, I'm serious, I didn't feel like I was at my best until I had my daughter.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. Okay. That's when you put in your best work. Because you knew she was looking at you.
Yep.
That's not, why is that sad? You about to cry?
Sad, because
I'm crying all the time. Somebody else gotta cry.
Because I feel like I should have realized my best way before then.
No, I think sometimes we have it. As a mom, I think because it's not just for you. It's somebody looking at you, somebody looking up to you, somebody, you want to make somebody proud. That's you. That came from you. I don't think it's that you didn't have it. It's that, okay, she's looking at me, so I gotta go all out be great at this and kill it. And then no matter what we do, we can think we suck at something. Like, I remember I tried to take my boys to play ball. I can shoot. I can dribble, but I can't play ball. But I'm gonna act like it. I'm faking it. They're like, oh, look at mommy. They was so little. I was like, hey, look at me playing little Jordan out here. Girl, whole time I'm sucking, but it's something when your kids gas you up and you want to keep that going. You don't want them to see you like give up and all of that stuff. So you tend to just like keep going until you can, until they get it, because you don't want them to give up and you want them to follow their thing. So I don't think that's a bad thing or a great thing. I think it's always there. I think sometimes when we have children, they enhance because now we got somebody looking at us. You get what I'm saying? So, it's not just about us. It's also, we want them to see us at our best. So it ain't that you wasn't there. They probably just brought it out a little bit more. It's like encouragement, motivation. That's what it is.
I get that.
You can cry.
I received that. No, I'm not gonna cry.
Camera.
Look, I'm looking like I'm waiting for it. All right. So when did you figure out you already said it, didn't you, Joe? Jay? Can I call you Nathaniel?
That's fine.
Because I'm gonna keep messing up. They gonna be like, what the hell is this name? What you want to say?
Pretty much at this point, yeah. I don't think I'm at my best yet. I think I'm at the best that I've been, but I still think I got room to improve. When did I think I was reaching this point? The first time somebody offered to buy one of my pictures. And the first time somebody paid me to do like a photo shoot for them, I was like really shocked.
And you still getting on everybody's nerves.
To
this day, you get on everybody's nerves.
Well, it's part of my personality.
Yes, it is. You get on my nerves. I think I'm at my best when my back is against the wall, or when I think people doubt me, or second guess me, or tell me I can't, or I like the challenge. I'm one of them type people. I don't know what it is. I thrive when people think the worst, or assume the worst, or expect the worst. I like to be like, you thought that was going down like that. Nope. So, I feel like that's when I'm at my best, is when I'm the most challenged, or when my expectations aren't as high. I like when I know if I feel like something that I know I can do and conquer, I don't want to do it. I like to do things that pushes my mind and that challenges my mind to learn more, to be better. And I think even not just in their artistic way. That's why I say it's not just when it comes to art that you can be creative. It could be in your work life. It could be in your personal life. It can be whatever. You always find ways to be creative, or ways to push the envelope. Like, okay, if I'm not getting it this way, I need to figure out another way that I can retain it. So even like with school, I'm challenged every day. I was just challenged, or like I was telling y'all earlier with the project. In my mind, I failed. You get what I mean? Because I was like, I don't know nothing about this. I don't know nothing about how to do none of that stuff. So to build something and piece it together, it was like, I couldn't believe it. Because it was like when it came out, I was like, well, what the hell was this? So the final finished product, as you transition and go through things, it's kind of like, this is not going to look right. This is going to suck. This is going to suck. But to know that you don't give up on it. And then the final product, I was like, damn, I'm about to build me a whole community clinic. You know what I mean? So I think sometimes when your mind is pushed to think outside the box of where you already are. And I think sometimes people stay one-dimensional and where their comfort zone is. So when you step outside the comfort zone, I think that's when you really use every piece of your creativity, because it's like, now you got to figure it out. It's how you piece everything together, even with a sentence or what we might call a shade or whatever. And you know, Jay, how we get. I'm like, I know she didn't just try to come here. Let me get her together real quick. And so it's even with that, it takes creativity to come be witty, to be, you know, quick on your feet, so to speak. So I think that's good. What about changing your routine? How do you think that goes into your tips into your creative mind?
Well, I'm actually trying to get back to how creative I can.
Oh, girl, you was robotic.
Because my whole routine was changed. What are you talking about? I was robotic.
I don't know what just happened. You was giving me very much RoboCop. It's better than go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back into routine. My whole routine was thrown off. So my creative mind was on cease and desist for like a whole year now. From not being employed. So I'm trying to get back there.
Okay.
I'm trying to find a routine again.
Okay.
And I'm not going to talk about that whole thing because then I will get emotional and I don't feel like it right now. So, huh? If I talk about it, I will.
I mean, I will talk about it.
All right.
Jay. Because I be on my crying all the time, and y'all always say, "Why she cry again?" And I do.
I don't care. This your baby. You're supposed to. Talking about something close to you and it makes you emotional. Go.
Oh my God, y'all. That's what happened 25 years ago.
So what? That don't mean the emotions are gone. It don't matter.
Okay. So, what do you think changing your routine means as far as tapping into your creative mind?
Are you talking to me or Jay?
Jay Nathaniel, because you answered it already. We gotta get you back on a routine and go off the routine.
Yes.
I don't know that I have a routine.
You do.
Oh, I do? Oh, okay. I don't know.
I think, okay. So for me, my routine would be I have to make time. Because I have a routine of I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this. I have to sometimes break it so that my mind can be focused on what I need to do. Like you'll hear me say, okay, I need to paint, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this, I need to do that. And then sometimes even with this in planning, I don't have a routine. You get what I mean? People are like, well, I just do it. Or somebody might say, oh, and I'm like, oh, boom, I'm gonna talk about this. But then as things come to me, I'm like, I'm gonna add this, or this, that, or this will be good. This will be something, or something that most people may not think about that is related to something. But even going back to like painting and stuff like that, I try not to focus too hard, because then it's like I draw a blank. And you'll always hear me say, get out your own head. Sometimes we can get in our own head with a routine of how we want something to go. And sometimes you just got to let it flow. And then the pieces sometimes fall in place. It's just like, how like with Mercury and break apart.
Mm-hmm.
And then how we used to break the thermometers and stuff like that. And then you put the Mercury in a little top and it separates, but then eventually it comes together. The same thing when you change up something that you do, when you try to keep the routine so confined together, you're literally blocking the creativity because you have expectations on exactly what, which is okay for some people. But sometimes when you don't expect it or you go off of that, you notice you come up with something, you be like, that doesn't sound like you, but you don't know how you did it. So that way, each body of work will be different. And that's why you'll hear a lot of people, I know, like me and Drew talk about it all the time. You will never get the same piece of work. And you shouldn't, unless you're going to get a print.
Yes, that's
That's
with
the
my
only
shirts. With my shirts, somebody asked me, could I do like one of my shirts? Could I do the same thing? I said, it's not going to come out the same way.
Yep. And you shouldn't want it to. And that's what I mean about the uniqueness. And when something is consistently the same, it gets boring. And I look at it like, why you want it to be the same? Don't you want it to be a little bit different? Some people look at me like, here she goes, show me how to say something. No, but it's really something to think about. Like, sometimes people don't want to hear certain things, but sometimes you got to say certain things for people to get outside the box, because you want to be appealing to not just one specific type, and you don't want just one group of people or outlet to just like your body of work. You get what I mean? You want to expand it and have something for everybody. That way it circulates more and it brings more attention, and your work can, or whatever it is that you do, is actually noticed. Even still, if like you are working, you're working on a project, right? And say a manager, what I would say, having to do this PowerPoint or spreadsheet or something like that. So you're like, oh, okay. And their mind, they, I know what they're expecting. But like, me, I add flares of color lines. I start putting stuff bold here, underline, stuff that I ain't supposed to be doing, but I do it. And they're like, oh, wow, this is great because this part stands out. And you get what I'm saying? So now you done did something, and now it's going to stand out. So with certain things, they might come to you and do it. So that's why I said sometimes our creativity taps into any different thing that can stand out that makes sense, but not all over the place. I think long as it makes sense, you met your goal. All right. So we got like 8 minutes before the break. I'm gonna start with this one. This one a good one. How do you battle procrastination to tap into your mind, to be creative? I'm gonna go last. Oh, y'all trying to tell me I don't procrastinate? I'm the only procrastinator?
No, I am a procrastinator. Because I have a lot of creative things that I want to do, and I ain't start none of them yet.
Why?
Because I told you, I'm okay. I'll give you the honest truth of why. Like for the last year, I've been in a very dark place. Not having a job I didn't know how to function, because my whole being is taking care of my family. And not being able to take care of my family the way I want to, I've been in a very dark place. Nobody has known that, but I've been in a very dark place. And the only thing that literally saved me is my daughter. So my creative mind has been all out of whack. I haven't wanted to do anything, go anywhere, any of that. So that's why I said my routine is off. I'm trying to get back to me, because I just started working a week ago. So I'm trying, thank you. So I'm trying to get back to me, and I'm still digging myself out of that dark hole. But that's why I'm trying to hold off. And that's why I've been procrastinating. Usually I don't, when it's an idea I have, I'll just do. But until I can really see the light at the end of the tunnel, I know I'm not going to get there.
Yes, you will. You're going to get there. It's
No,
always like at the end of the time. It might be a little dim a little bit, but it's there. You might see a little flicker. Focus on that flicker. It ain't all the way dark. We ain't gonna let you go there. We good.
That glimmer of light you
My
see.
eyes
Focus on that,
getting
bro.
gassy. I ain't gonna do it. I said, look, I'm all trying to get out to do it. I'm about okay. No, listen. It's funny because not funny, crazy, but I I think we all been there. Even amongst everybody got in the circle. It's like I think we all had them things. So I actually can relate a lot to that. Where you just like give up on things that once made you happy or things that may have been a positive distraction and you feel like it's just gone. But it's not that it's gone. It's just not there. And then it's like you gotta find your way back to it. It took me I told you it took me a lot of years to tap back into mine. And I think it's all about finding that inner peace, so to speak, to get back to that. So that's why I said, even when we think it's completely dark, it's a flicker somewhere. Somebody got a little lighter going on. They just gotta walk a little bit closer and bring it so we can see it, to go to it so we can get back, to the beam of light. But it's there. It ain't completely dark. So long as you got something to look forward to, hold on to, and hope and motivation, that dark place, you ain't gonna stay there. And you got a strong network of people that support you that's not gonna let you stay there. You got too much, talent. We're not letting that go. I don't care what we gotta do, how many little ponderosas we gotta have. That's not gonna happen. Listen, that is not gonna happen. Trust me. And so I definitely, get that part. But you're gonna go when we come back. I knew this was gonna run over. She about to make me cry. And I need to get myself together. I probably gotta go a lot of teardrops so it can go away. But we're gonna go take a quick break and then we're gonna come back and finish. There's some other ones that I think is really good. Because you'll often hear, before we go to break, I'm gonna just take it into that. I follow a lot of like artists and people that do different bodies of forms of art that's really creative, and you'll always see them like either post a story or you'll read about a story or even see something on television where people ran into something where they didn't feel motivated or it just wasn't there. They just didn't have that goal anymore. It was just they felt like it was pointless because it wasn't going to be meaningful because where they were. And you'll always hear the stories of how they overcame and did different things. So it's kind of like you're gonna be good, and you know that. So it's not the end all be all whatever. Did I say backwards? Be all end all be all. One of them holes. Yeah, that one. So that's not it. It's going to come, and when it come back, it's just going to be 1,000% better than whatever it was. Because you got to think about it. When that dark starts being in the light, all of that starts coming up, and it starts to surface, and you just push it out. However it come out, whether it be in your job, making your clothes, or anything like that, you're gonna be good. But we're gonna come back. I got a couple other ones, and then we're gonna get into some other stuff in Jay Nathaniel business. So we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break, and then we're gonna be right back. Welcome back to the Kazual Konvo show. It's a whole lot of money up in here. We are back, and I have Tierra and Jay Nathaniel are here with me. Tierra is multi-talented. I can't even say the list of things she got going on. We're gonna be here for an hour. And then we got Jay, who is also multi-talented, but his main talent in business is photography. And me, I just be told. That's it. I think I'm just a workaholic. Okay. But just to get back into where we left off. You okay, T?
Yes.
Okay. You get it out?
Hmm?
You get it out?
I wasn't letting it out.
All right. So we said battle. Did I go? That we left off on battling procrastination to tap into your creative mind. Did I go?
Jay Nathaniel was next.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I have to beat myself up about procrastinating because I'll be tired and I just won't feel like it, or I'll get frustrated. Like sometimes if my pictures don't come out the way I want them to, like when I go through and edit them, I'll be mad like, oh, I should have did this one from this angle and not that one. I wish I could go back and change it, but I can't. So then I'll get frustrated and I kind of stop for a while. But it's like, no, you gotta finish these. So I just take a breather and
So do you look at that as procrastination, or would you consider yourself a perfectionist? A perfectionist. I said pro. I was just talking about somebody like that. It wasn't a per. Per.
A bit of both. Cause like the last trip I went on when we went over to Lurie Cabins, I didn't expect to take 300 some odd pictures. And I'm halfway through editing. And it's been like 3 weeks.
What?
Yeah. It was like 360 pictures. It was a lot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it till I went back and looked at the memory card. I was like, oh wow.
Oh, yeah, you was getting it in.
Yeah, I was
That's
just
it?
walking, trying not to fall because it was slippery.
I think you get in your own head. That's your procrastinate. Like you will talk yourself out of something, second guessing your talent or your level. I'm gonna say your level of talent. You put too many. I think sometimes it's good to have high expectations, but I think sometimes when we put too many high expectations on ourselves at one time, instead of pacing it, it's like you don't see what other people see, right? And I tell you that all the time. I'm like, Jay, it's not that deep. And you be like, yes, it is, because da 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 da. You will, and I swear you are great at it, because you will have an excuse or a reason for everything. And I'm like, it's not. You like, it is. And I'm like, it's not. I'm like, it is. And you're like, whatever. And it's like, you'll get very frustrated. And I'm like, well, I don't care if you mad or not. You be right tomorrow. I don't care. And I say, yo, and I'll be like, what you doing? You be like, And I'm like, I already know what it is. But it's okay. And I think sometimes we need those people.
Yeah.
I mean, I get like that sometimes, but my procrastination, I don't think I procrastinate. I think I try to, the same thing, like I just said, I put too much on my plate at one time. And then it's like, I try to fit it in. So, but if I can put it off and do something else, so I might see, okay, you know how things happen, and then you got to push something back. And then I'm like, damn. Then when the time comes, I'm like, did I ever do that? And then it's like, no, you're like, fuck, I shouldn't have pushed that back. Yeah. That's me. So, and it's kind of like, I'll keep pushing it back because I'm doing X, Y, and Z as it comes. And then I forget to do something, then come find out I should have never, ever did that. So I think my procrastination comes with the lack of balance of things. And just trying to be all over the place, and She-Ra and Superwoman and Catwoman and everybody else all at one time. And I'm not a Thundercat, so I need to get it together. Right. And I think that's my problem. So it's like kind of I think freeing up time. But I know you do this, to tap into your creativity is the environment because you're big on nature. That's something that I need to start doing. Because they say one thing we don't get to do because it's dangerous, especially here in Baltimore, it's so dangerous to walk around your environment without ducking and dodging bullets. And
Yes.
and
especially be walking around with an expensive camera.
Yeah, you don't know, somebody will come to ask for $1, stick you up, you know.
Well,
They
yeah.
only ask change no more. You got $5 because it's like, what? What happened to 50 cents? But yeah, maybe that. But it says if you walk on the environment. Now I do know if I do go somewhere and I'm outside or maybe like a park or walk, maybe even a gym or something like that, you can see something and it makes you feel good. Usually when you are out and about and not closed in, you tend to think and things start to come to you. You start to see things that you can do, or I'm like, I want to try that. Or I want to do this. I want to do that. So, and you get to see different things, whether it's different people, different things, and even like career-wise or anything that you want to do as far as like with your business. It's like, then you start to see how other people function in their business or how other businesses ran, and you try to think of how you can incorporate it into that. So all of those things give you a creative aspect. It's just the environment that you're in that you got to take advantage of.
Right.
Like, what is the demand? Like, what is going on? What is the attraction? Like, what are people looking at? Now, Miss Multi, what's she like? They not. What are you? I don't even know what to call you. The Caribbean lady.
Multi-talented.
Yeah, very much. Do you think your environment helps you as far as be creative?
Sometimes.
Like you don't ever go outside and be like, yes, you do, because I've been with you when you did it. She ain't do that right. Or that ain't how that's supposed to look. And I'm like, wait. And I'm like, it looks fine. And Sarah be like, that is not how that, I'm going to show you. And the next thing you know, about a week later, she's like, this, remember that? And I'm like, what is that? Remember that time? Even, my mind, vitamin D low, everything going on. I forget. And she like, remember? And then she will, she got an elephant brain. So she remembers specific details. And we were so, and she had on a striped dress with some purple socks. And I told you, that was not how that's supposed to look or be designed. Don't let it be a hairstyle. I don't know who did that, but she need to take that out. And the next thing you know, she'd be like, watch, I'm gonna do it. And then next thing you know, she sends you a picture of somebody's hair. She just like that. And that's how it's supposed to be. So yeah, environment. That was like that.
That was that one time, like I did your hair and it was like a crazy cut and it was supposed to be funky. And you came to work the next day and did something to it. And I was like, what did you do?
So I just ran a flat iron over it, right?
No, listen, I don't know how to do number no hair. That is not my thing. That is not my gift. That is not my listen. I throw something together. If it's presentable, I'm good. But I'd be like, well, it was cute. You'd be like,
no.
Yeah. Well, that's what you for. That's why. Then I thought about it. I think I'm the only one that don't do hair between you, Jude, Tiff, my child. Yeah, I'm good. One ain't available. Boom, there go that next one. Now, this one about to be good because watch how he get in his bag on this one. Jay.
Yeah.
Just the mic. How does the environment motivate your creativity?
How does it motivate my creativity?
Like it taps into your creative mind. Like, what does the environment do to be like, this is it. I'm gonna get this.
It's something about sitting out in nature that just like is really clearing to my mind. And then I'll just be looking around and I might see like a stone or a couple of flowers grouped together. And then it's like, oh, well, if I get down on this angle, and look at it from here. Let me see how this picture will come out. Or let me step over it this way and take the picture. And I'm not opposed to getting up on a tree, standing up on a ledge or something to get the right angle. You gotta do what you gotta do for the right picture.
Told you he was gonna get in this bag. Like, I talk about that. Keep it cool, go ahead. People showed me, it's funny because that you said that when you went to the caves, he showed me a picture of the same thing, but I thought it was something different. And I was like, I would never done that. You got the same picture 3 times. No matter how I spun it. I was like, you don't see it's a different angle. They be like, no, that's the same picture. I literally thought it was, but what was it like? It looked like a mirror, something almost. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah, it's actually like it's a layer of water that's just like so crystal clear that it gives you a mirror reflection at the bottom.
Can you drink it?
No.
Did you say, can you drink it?
No, please don't.
Oh, no, that ain't Fiji.
No. So all kind of microbes and bacteria and stuff in there.
I'm gonna get a tetanus shot.
That ain't even gonna help. You're talking something that's thousands and millions of years old.
Please.
It's like blocked off, but you can't get that close to it. Like they got a. Yes. No.
Oh, you can like dip your feet in it? A toe?
No. No.
That's not fun.
No, they have a lot of barriers for people like you.
It's crazy because the stuff I can touch, I won't touch it. When I'm not supposed to touch something, I'm like, I'm not touching it.
Yeah, no, you can touch like the wall. I don't even recommend touching the walls and things in there because you just don't know what's on there. Then it's all wet and moist. It was kind of like it was stuff dripping all in my head. I had to come home and wash my hair because I was just like, I don't know what just dripped on me. Nah, I wouldn't recommend it.
Do you think you're able to embrace a diverse perspective when it comes to your craft?
What you mean?
A diverse perspective. So, for instance, question for both of you. Same question for both of y'all. So, when it comes to something, okay, so Jay, it would be your photography. Let me pick one for T. Let's say hair, right? No. Yeah, let's say hair. And someone may say their perspective on something that you do. Jay is famous for this one. That's nice. But can I recommend X, Y, and Z? Or another person may say just something to make it pop a little bit more. It could be somebody you don't even know. Because sometimes when people we don't know what they do and where their critique is coming from, right? So, and they may just say what their perspective is on your work, your body of work. And it may not be, it could be what you're looking for, or it may not be what you're looking for. But are you accepting of the critique either way?
Yes, I actually welcome it. Because I look at things I've noticed from a very like particular point of view. Like I'm all about angles and I'm all about the abstraction of a simple object. Mm-hmm. And if you can give me another point of view, I can then shift and look at it. Like, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. It took some time. It took some time, but yeah. Because I had to learn that people weren't like discrediting what I did. They were just giving me another point of view.
Right.
But yeah, I do now. Yeah, absolutely.
T is too professional for me sometimes. Look how she's sitting there like, I'm just waiting for my turn. I'm getting ready. Anybody else would have been like, yep. She's just like, okay. She probably like, yep, this is the question. Let's go.
No, I'm just listening.
What do you think? How do you embrace a diverse perspective of your body of work?
Yes, like I don't mind critiques, but don't critique my stuff. And your stuff ain't right.
It don't necessarily mean that.
No,
Okay,
like because you can give me because you said hair, right?
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can't give me a critique and you can't make a part. You can't make a curl. You can't do nothing. You can't say, oh, I think that would look. No, we're not going to do that. Now, if it was my sister, who I learned to do hair from, and she gave me a perspective, then I'm going to take it. Because that's who I got it. That's who I learned from. And she'd be like, no, well, you could do it this way and this way. And I'm like, oh, okay. So with me, I don't mind critiques. And you can critique my stuff all day. I'm confident about myself when it comes to hair. But you just gotta have the body of work to critique it. You can't be just, you ain't done hair a day in your life and you're gonna tell me what my stuff look like. No.
Okay, so I think I look at it in both ways. Even necessarily if a person does not do what I do, I'm still open, because sometimes what a person see and the projection of it, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're wrong, right? It could just mean something, okay, which will go into taking risk of the feedback, because it may push another envelope that maybe I was too subtle and not being daring enough to go. Because sometimes people can see something like, oh, what if you do this way and then go that way? Even though, like me, I can't do that, but I can envision some things. You get what I mean? Ways go and think outside that box. So,
but let me say, I think you can critique me on your hair, but you can't critique me on someone else's, because I may have did something to someone else that they particularly liked. So I wouldn't change that because that's for them. So critique me on what's for you and I'll take that. Yeah. But you can't critique me on something for someone else that specifically wanted that.
Yeah, I get that. That makes a lot of sense. Mine is different. I'm a combine taking risks to be creative, as well as, getting another perspective and also giving another perspective. For me, I haven't always been open to it. I'm not even going to say in front like, oh yeah, just go ahead, tell me anything. I'll go ahead and listen. No, sometimes I'm like, sure, please. I ain't trying to hear none of that. But then as time went on, it's kind of like, I feel like those perspectives are needed. Because sometimes, even though we don't want to hear it, it may be what we need to hear. And then sometimes a lot of people say they're open to certain things, and everybody is passionate about their body of work, right? And sometimes you don't have all the answers, even though it's yours. You get what I'm saying? Or I feel like sometimes people, including myself, we can hold ourselves back thinking the next person don't know nothing, because you never know who they're connected to, which also goes into the networking. And then sometimes some people get so consumed within themselves and their own way of thinking, okay, yeah, you have a projection of where you want to go. Even let's say somebody can say, yeah, I see this, but maybe try this, or have you thought about this, then the third. In my mind, I'm like, no. But then when you think about it, it could be another avenue. You get what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean you have to do it their way, but you can make it your own. Whether it be exposure, whether it be how you do it, whether it be just another way of doing something to get your work out there. And even now into businesses, I always say, your talent is your business. I don't care what it is, what you do. That's your business. But even in that, you still have to be open and not close off to a perspective, because when you get so consumed in your own way of thinking and being selfish and not open-minded, you didn't already cut yourself short. So sometimes it's okay to take the risk, and it's okay to, when you take the risk, even if it's not successful, that's okay. You just don't have to do that no more. But sometimes you got to do certain things and challenge yourself to do them in order to progress to the next level. Like, you ever talk to somebody and you're like, hey, I had this idea, boom. And they're like, oh no, because da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And you're like, oh, okay. They done already, you get what I'm saying? They already got their box. And they don't want to extend, they don't want to open the box a little bit to make it bigger. So I think sometimes when we look at it, it's also taking a risk of saying, okay, I see that point, and to think about it, and maybe how can you make it your own, even if that way wasn't appealing to you. It could be an option of something to do, and you never know, it could make your body of work greater, because we don't have all the answers. And I think sometimes, even when it's our craft, nobody can tell you how to do what you do, but a suggestion can make what you do great or better by taking a chance or taking a risk. And a lot of people aren't willing to take the risk because they just want to stay the same way, in the same box, in the same frame. So leveling up is taking a risk.
I had to learn that. Actually, I had to learn that. Because I originally, all I ever wanted to be was like a print photographer. Like, I just wanted to see all of my pictures hanging places. But then first time I got approached about a photo shoot, I'm like, well, I don't really do that, but let me try it and see how it goes. Because they saw something I didn't see. First time a person was like, well, can you do this event for me? I'm like, oh, well, that's something totally different I've never done. And they loved it. And I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'm not bad at this. Let me give this a shot too and expand myself.
So how do you feel like how do you handle or overcome like a negative attitude, whether it's yours, whether it's somebody critiquing your stuff? Like, how does that affect you in your craft?
I try to take it. I try to take in what they're saying, even if I disagree in the moment. I'll be like, well, okay, let me sit down and really think about what they're saying. Let me look at what I've done. Mm-hmm. And from there, I'll just like, okay, well, let me see what changes I can make for the next time I get this opportunity. And I'll consult. Like, I have a few friends who also do photography, so I might go to them and get like their point of view. Like, what do you think? What do you think I could do differently next time? And it could just be a matter of changing some settings on my camera that I didn't know how to do. But I had to be open to both sides of that critique. And it's helped a lot. And I had to stop comparing myself to other people, because everybody is not the same. Everybody doesn't take the same kind of pictures. So I had to learn that one too.
Yeah, I think sometimes people don't understand part of being creative. You got to take the negative with the positive. Everybody is not going to like what you do. Mm-hmm. Everybody is not going to be supportive of what you do. Everything is not for everyone. Everyone mm-hmm. is not going to understand your body of work, right? And I think sometimes people will let one negative comment, one negative read, whatever you want to call it, affect everything, and it throw you off your game. Instead of, okay, you just one person, but you can probably have 1,000 more people that love what you do. You get what I mean? But it's something about that one. And we're all human. at the end of the day. It affects you. You know what I'm saying? However you do it. But then it's kind of like, okay, whatever. You got to regroup and not let that one negative thing distract you from everything that you have going on. So then it becomes, let me show this one person on. My thing is this: once you have one negative thought about me or something that I'm doing, let me show you better than I can tell you. That's how I thrive. And I think sometimes we forget to put that people tend to focus on the negative things, and just relax and keep on going, because you're not going to please everybody. And people can always want to tell you what you should do better or what you should do. And sometimes it comes off wrong and it may be their way. But I think sometimes some people don't understand their way is not your way. So it's a difference in critiquing and trying to make something that's mine yours. You get what I mean? Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like saying if I did a ponytail, which I can't do, and T did a ponytail, I can't tell her, I don't let it, because and tell her to make it like mine. You get what I'm saying? It's not going to be the same because that's not her body. That's not how she do her stuff. Everything is different. If it's not different, like I said, it's boring. You can't mimic everything. So just like it's some elements of the creativity here. The 4 elements are focus, people, tools, and time. You got all 4?
I'm sorry. Say it again. Someone is peeking at me.
It's 4 elements of being creative. It's focus, people, tools, and time. You think that's true?
Tools and time.
When are you focused? Y'all don't never focus?
What you say?
I said, when do you feel like you focus?
Oh.
No, it says, okay. It says discuss the basic elements of creativity is focus, people, tools, and time. So what I put for that was these are things that help you when you're in your zone. I call it my zone.
Mm-hmm.
So my zone is when I'm focused. Sometimes when it comes to the people can be distracting or they can be motivating. And I notice, I don't know about anybody else, sometimes when I'm at my most focused, I feel like people can be my biggest distraction because they will throw my focus off. Or it seems like when you're in your bag, you have hella distractions or people trying to take you out your bag. Whether it's intentional or unintentional. You get what I mean? So it's kind of like if you focus on what you're doing and then I don't give you room to stick to that focus, then what? I'm gonna throw you off your game, right? Or it could be a motivation, push that through, to get you to keep going. The people thing can go 2 ways, but when you focus, either you focused or you not, because it takes one thing to distract you, and then it messes your whole aura up. Everything, it seems like it go left, and then you gotta bring it back. And I think some people don't understand. Everybody don't create and be creative in that same way.
Right.
What's your thing?
Yeah.
Jay, you was about to start talking and you like, yeah, you go.
I was, but go ahead. No.
Focus, people, tools, and time. Those are good elements. I would have never thought them to be, well, some of them. Focus and being creative, you do have to have focus, because you can be all over the place. And I feel like my creative mind, I'm all over the place. Cause like I will dibble in this and this and this and this. Stop laughing, shit out. Like I dibble and dab in so much. I don't have no focus. Only time I focus if I have a hair client, I'm focused on that. If I'm making t-shirts, I'm focused on that. And I gotta have complete like silence, nobody around me, nobody can bother me to be totally focused on what I'm doing. If you ask me one question, my focus is gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wait, can you just hold up till I finish this? Like, because if you talk to me or if I go off with you, it's not going to be what I wanted to be when I come back.
What do you feel about tools? Like, what do you, yeah.
What tools is it pertaining to, like tools you use or?
I look at tools in the aspect of resources. Because again, I don't just limit, for me, the creativity is just onto like my painting or anything that I do in that way. I utilize creativity we utilize creativity in every aspect, and everybody is creative in their own way, whether you understand it or not. So I look at tools like resources, and then sometimes everybody is not welcoming and open to resources or different ways of doing things. So those are all tools into doing something, whether I say, hey, what do you think about this? And then you may say, oh yeah, well, X, Y, and Z, or try this one out, or, try this place, that place, this, that, and the third. Those are all tools in perfecting your craft. Because nobody has completely perfected their craft. Every day you get better and you learn something different that you can do. So anything that you can grasp is a tool to your craft, to your creativity.
Yeah, my tools are probably my sister. I use YouTube. I use people. Like I use Pinterest. Like I use a lot of things to get my like creative juices going or to try different stuff. I love putting stuff together. Like we buy furniture just so I can put it together. Because I love it.
That's Tasia.
I love it. I love putting it together. So
okay. So not to cut you off, I'm going to get something from IKEA. You game?
Oh, girl, IKEA is my place.
I can't
That's
put
my
nothing
best
together.
place to
Let me
put
tell
stuff
you,
together.
I'm that girl who needs a man, because if I put something together, they got us all these extra pieces. They is nice.
Stuff is right apart.
Then I tell you now, the cheese, sit on them at your own risk. I put them together. You go on the floor, it's on you.
No. Yeah. So I use a lot of different stuff. Like, no, IKEA, that's my thing. I put all IKEA stuff together. But yeah, I use Google, YouTube. YouTube is my best bet. I YouTube everything.
I do too.
I want to make I want to make a bench for my dad. Okay. I went on YouTube and I'm going to make a cinder block bench. I just got to go I just got to go get the stuff. So I use YouTube for everything. Time, you just got to put the time in. You have to actually set time aside to let your creative mind work so you don't stifle yourself.
Yeah. I'm working on it. I don't have time. I don't. I still have. I got like 2 paintings. I should have been finished probably 2 weeks ago. I ain't done yet. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Jay Nathaniel. Woo, I ain't even started your background. I'm gonna get it out. That's the goal for the week. We just talked about that. Find my focus. Find my time. I'm going to carve out the time to do all of that. I just started a new class.
I know. I said I'm not in no rush. I know mine is coming. I get it when I get it. Because we have an exchange going, so it's okay.
Yeah, you just gotta let me know your colors, and I got you with the rest.
Okay.
I got an idea.
Okay. Actually, no, it's up to you. Do you?
No, I mean, Because you're like,
not
that's
not a
real.
special
Then
request.
you'll be like, no, that's real girly. And I'll be like, well, that's cute.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I don't want it real girly, but
Okay.
that's about it. I don't have no like color scheme preference or anything.
I got a good question
No,
for both of y'all. This one about to be good. Why do you think being creative is important? I'm gonna go last. Who gonna go first?
Jay.
important for me or important in general?
Why do you think it's important?
For me, like I said, it's one of my biggest stress relievers. I carry a lot of weight on my shoulders day to day. I got a lot going on that I don't even tell people about because it's just like my lot in life. Like it's my daily life. And it's not even that I need relief from it, but when I get bogged down and I get in my head too much about things, like how am I gonna get this done? How am I gonna get this done? I just gotta stop, sit, and just let it go. I had to learn to just let go of a lot of stuff that was out of my control.
Right.
And when I do that, I'd be like, okay, you know what? Let me go out, let me grab the camera, go take a few minutes outside, go walk around. Even if I don't take any pictures, even if I'm just walking around enjoying the scene of the park or over by the water. Like that, I like to sit down by the water a lot. That's actually the best thing to me is sitting down by the water because I get to hear the waves crashing. I get to hear the birds and the animals, watch the animals run around and stuff like that. And then it gives me a revamp, especially if I'm frustrated and I feel like I'm hitting a wall with the photography. Like, let me just clear my head, get out of my own head, and just let stuff come to me.
Okay. Tay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you said, I'm sorry. You know, JB getting in, he get the wandering off. I gotta make sure he's still here because you know he get the and then he'll be like, I just thought of something. And I'm like, that's why you did that? You gotta bring him back sometimes. He get to talking again to his head.
I get a little hyper focused sometimes.
I think being creative is important because it opens your mind up to a whole different world than what you're used to. It allows you to see different things from a different perspective. It allows you to dig deeper within yourself to find what you are capable of. It allows you to accept more diverse things into your space. It allows you to get more educated. So I just think when you're creative, it opens up a whole new world of how to see things.
I agree.
Yeah, you're just not stuck in this box of this black and white. It inserts color into that black and white picture that you may have.
Agree. I agree. Definitely agree. It's on me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, left me too much time. I thought y'all was
You're gonna feel it.
I'm gonna feel it.
Yeah.
All right. In my opinion of the importance of creativity, like I said, I feel like being creative is not just it is an art to it, but it's just not art. It's just not, it's whatever your talent could be. Whether it's, I feel like being creative is everybody's hustle, whether you know it or not. Whether it's a work hustle, street hustle, whatever you got going on, you have to be creative to do that. You get what I mean? So, in another aspect of, you ever figure out something like, I want to try that, and in your mind, you got it, and you're like, I just got to get it out. I'm gonna channel it. So you got to be you have to figure out a way to get it out of your head onto and out there, wherever it's going to be. So even starting, like I said, starting a business, or when you going into an interview for a job, you have to be creative with your answers because you got to sell yourself. It's an art to everything that we do, but also on the if we want to go to the artistic side, I think for me it's peaceful. That's why it's important for me. It gives me a sense of peace. It gives me a sense of individuality. It gives me a sense of uniqueness. That's mine. I did that. You get what I mean? Or when you do something and somebody gets it, because everybody don't actually get it. And when your work is symbolic of something to somebody else, it gives you a sense of like, you're proud of it. You're happy about it, you're enthused, and you're ready to conquer the next thing or to make it better. And that's why I said before, I think it's important because, like I said, everything not for everybody. And you do get negative feedback on anything that we do. So it's kind of like, I've learned to be accepted and not take it to heart, so to speak. It's just like, oh, okay, that just wasn't for you. And that's fine, but then it may be something else. And that same person or group of people can be like, oh, that was fire. Even down to like the show. It could be one show may not be appealing to everybody. It might not be something somebody want to hear, but then you might got one that's like, yeah, you was on that one. You know what I mean? Oh, and that's perfectly okay. I think we just have to, it shows you a level of where you can, what's the word I want to use? Where you can be diverse within yourself. And that you're not one-dimensional, when you can appeal to different people. So even when it comes to a painting, it could be one a lot of women like. When I do things for like my grandkids, I know kids, I try to tap into a child, you know what I mean? Or something to make it fun for a kid. And then something I do for a man may not be the same what I would do for a woman. So it gives me a diverse way of trying to be creative and make it different. And I try to make it to that person, which is also a difference. Like too much of the same thing for me is just boring. So it's important for me to always evolve. And part of evolving is taking the criticism and taking, the good with the bad or whatever. Because I look at the bad now, whether it's my work life, my school life, my art, the podcast, everything, anything that comes my way that's negative, it's going to fuel me to do better and to correct my wrongs. Because we're all imperfect and we're all flawed. It's just how you choose to channel that and make it better. I get fueled off of bad critique. It does. It's a motivation for me because I want to prove something to myself. And then, I'm going to be like, I'm going to make you eat your words. I don't care if it takes 10 years. One day. You get what I mean? But it's going to also push me and motivate me to do different things. So I think when we be creative, you should always challenge yourself to never stay the same. Like, you ever see somebody do the same of everything over and over and over and over and over? And then you just like, I just want them to do something a little different or a little more challenging because you got that in the bag. Like, I get it. That's shit. But what can you do differently to make that stand out and then to make people come back in and then go back to seeing that? You get what I mean? So you can have something as your start. Your start is going to always be there. But when you add the different elements and really tap into what you have to offer, you can't do anything but get better and greater. And like I said, you expand your audience. So it's important because it challenges you to be better than what you just did, your last body of work. But if you went on an interview, you might not have did so good. But then the next one, all right, I shouldn't have said that and that one. So I'm going to go on this one. I'm going to finesse the mess out of this question. If they come back, you get what I mean? It's going to, everything that we do, you get more creative to make it better. So I like the feel. I like the challenge. I don't like easy stuff. If it's easy, it's not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how I look at it. I want to get creative, figure out how I'm gonna do this. Like I said, even down to it could be even a relationship. It be, you might have not did something, and one might be a little creative, but I'm gonna be a little spontaneous in this one. Here we go. So you always got your mind should always be challenged in a way to really tap into your true potential. You can't reach it if you just want to stay stagnant in this one frame of mind. And every time somebody says something to you, oh, well, no, because I'm gonna do it like da 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 da. And some people get so focused in their way, they can't see no other way. And then you wonder why you keep hitting roadblocks.
Mm-hmm.
You can't move the roadblock if you're not trying to go around it or something. You stand right there because it's there. So it's kind of like, okay. So one thing I learned to do is I keep ideas sometimes to myself. I won't lie to you, because everybody doesn't have the same mindset, which is okay. You can't expect everybody to want to be all over the, and I can be all over the place, and sometimes I can be really extra in my thoughts. But just imagine if I conquer all of them. And then you ever see when you get creative and you start doing your thing, then everybody like, oh, I did it. He's like, I was trying to tell you. And now listen.
If I conquered all my creative thoughts, I'd be rich.
Period. That part. All of that part. all of that. Guys, I think so. But I don't think it's never too late to tap into it and to do it. Like I said, we can't procrastinate. We talk about that. You can't keep pushing it off and saying, I think sometimes when we get lost is saying what we can't do. Or saying, man, Jay talk about this all the time, it's not time yet. No time is the right time. I always say that. But we can't get back this time. Yeah, but we can't, and I'm famous for that. You can't get your time back. Don't waste it, utilize it. Even if you fail, you learn from failure, but sometimes you got to take the risk of failing to see if it's going to work or not.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't ever try it, then what? You would never know. So, I mean, I think it's okay. Sometimes you just got to think, thinking outside the box, pushing the envelope, dare to be different and not the same. We say it all the time here. We say, everybody look the same. Everybody doing the same thing. One person do this is the thing. Everybody, okay, boom. Everybody, no. One person. And I think that's all. You can tell who the world creates because it stands out. Just the presence alone stands out. That's why being creative is very important. You should always want to stand out, not by being loud, not by being, what should I say, ghetto or anything like that. So to speak, those are the terms some people use, but just when you're different, you don't have to say anything. The presence of whatever you have going on is going to speak volumes, and that attention and that attraction comes to you. And that's why I said sometimes I tell people your presence sometimes speaks louder than your voice.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's good or bad. So that's how I look at what. Huh?
I said it's not going to always be good.
What you say? No,
you over here sound like
Yeah,
you ever see somebody? For me, I'm gonna sound like Alvania.
Use the
No, you sound like RoboCop.
Oh, girl, that's that good 18. No, but it's like 3 minutes. But I know it's kind of like You ever see somebody walk in a room and they don't have to say nothing, but everybody is drawn to them, and then you see somebody else who tries to make the room look at them, and they got to be loud, and you just like looking like, what the hell is that? That's what I meant. Your creativity should speak for itself, not you. Whatever you got going on is going to bring the people in that wants to be there.
Let your light speak for itself.
Exactly. So what I would say to people, no matter what your creative lane is, let that speak. You will know when your body of work is being appreciated and it's at its max value. It's going to come. It's going to come. You can't make people like it or like whatever you got going on or like you. Just do what you got to do for yourself. That's all I would say. Be creative, be different, be unique, no matter what it is. Push the envelope, no matter if that envelope is a little dry. It's all right. You'll find a way to moisten it up and get right. It's okay.
I don't like that word.
Right. Moisten up.
You found a way to
I know it sounded real derogatory. it was real derogatory, but y'all knew what I was going with it. But I think this was good. It was learning experience for me. I don't know about y'all. I think this was great. Y'all were worried, even though you guys were nervous. It's okay. You did wonderful. I thank y'all for coming, talking about this. I think this was a good. You're welcome. This was a really good show. I think it was really informative, especially for people who are really autistic and to get 3 different aspects of it, which was great. Tune in next week. Tasia wants to talk about reality versus actuality. I think that's what she said. I just say fact versus fiction, non-fiction, whatever. I'm gonna figure it out. But that's what we're talking about. So y'all more than welcome to come back whenever you want to. It's gonna be fun. But thank you guys for tuning in, watching, all that good stuff. Tune in next week. If you haven't done so, download the Ham Radio app or keep going on hamradio.org to check out all the shows tomorrow. I think it's like Canopy is on tomorrow. So that's gonna be my girl right there. So check